A new video featuring Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene shows her walking through the halls of Congress prior to being elected with the intention of questioning the legitimacy of Democratic representatives like Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib getting sworn into office by swearing on a Quran. Now, these are Muslim members of Congress, so it would make sense that they would use the Quran instead of the Bible. But Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently doesn't know much about our Constitution, and on top of that is a pretty hateful person. So here's the video that I'm talking about.
They swore in on the Quran. Oh, we have the Bible. We're going to talk about swearing in on the oath, how to swear in on the Bible with them and let them know what our law says, that you can't swear in on the Quran. So we're going to explain to that. You know, we're going to explain about how you can't swear in on the Quran, and we're going to have the Bible and ask them if they would swear in on the Bible, that we really need them.
We have the oath.
Yeah, we have the oath, yep. So I think that's important.
The sad thing is now
you're infringing on our religion.
Which you should not be able to.
You're infringing on our religion.
Yes.
By saying that we can't swear in on the Quran.
But when they swore in, it wasn't a law yet, right? At the time they swore in.
I don't know.
I think at the time they swore in, that wasn't passed. Because it wouldn't have been passed in a Republican control.
Right.
Yeah, so it was passed after they swore in. So they're not really official, I don't think. So let's go ask them to swear in the Bible, because like you said, Will,
It has to be the Holy Bible?
Yeah, it has to be the Bible.
No, it actually doesn't have to be the Bible. We have freedom of religion in this country, and you can't force Muslim lawmakers to swear on a Bible that doesn't belong in their religion. Like what? Why? And who cares? Who cares?
No, but
man, it is. Even her life was boring, right?
Even
boring.
Besides this, we have to like actually break it down to how stupid this is.
Break it down for me. Yes,
and I can tell you as an atheist, if I were to tell a serious lie and somebody asked me to put my hand on sweet baby Jesus's Bible, I would have no issue telling a lie. Like the oath is meaningless if I'm saying it on the book that I don't personally believe in. That's why you want them swearing on the Quran. If they are as deeply religious and fanatical as you think they are, then they cannot lie while touching that damn book. So if you want them to lie, you want them to lie on your book, buddy. Like that's why it's so stupid. If the point is that, you want to put this sacred document in front of them to ensure that they do the right thing, then you got to use the right book. I'm sorry. For me, it would probably have to be some type of Playboy that Pam Anderson was on or something. And I would have to tell the truth. I would have to be like, oh, no. We cannot disgrace the goddess that is Pamela Anderson. No, like it would have to be something that sacred for me. If it was the Bible, I'd be like, and keep it pushing. That's why this whole thing is so stupid.
It really is. That's such a great point. And now you've made me think about what I would swear on. Like what? A picture of my dog, definitely. Like I can't lie to him, right? But it's also like it's the hatred coupled with the ignorance of like our own constitution and system of government. Also, in addition to pure stupidity, right? Because stupidity and ignorance are two different things. Ignorance means you just don't know. And it's kind of shocking that someone who's now in Congress knows so little about our Constitution. But also more importantly, like she's just not a smart person and she's hateful on top of it. Her previous statements about Muslims have been pretty disgusting. So on June 18th of 2020, Politico reported that Greene described Islamic nations under Sharia law as places where men have sex with little boys, little girls, multiple women, and marry their sisters and their cousins. Okay, let's stop for a second. So these QAnon conspiracy theorists, I think, need to be examined. And I'm not kidding, because they have this insanely strange obsession with sex involving children. Like they everything that they dislike, they immediately think about, oh, they're having sex with children. I think that's an issue. I don't think normal people think that way. I'm not exaggerating. Like, I don't know, maybe I don't think normal people automatically start thinking about these things. And it's just very strange to me that that's where her head's at. She also suggested the 2018 midterms, which ushered in the most diverse class of House freshmen, was part of an Islamic invasion of our government, and that anyone that is a Muslim that believes in Sharia law does not belong in our government. So can you guys see why there are lawmakers right now who are asking for Marjorie Taylor Greene to be kicked off of her committee assignments, to be censured? There are real concerns about their safety because she's the kind of person who genuinely sees her political opponents as a violent threat that must be neutralized. Like, that's the kind of person she is. And it's just, it's scary to, like, again, she's not an isolated case. Like, she is representative of a significant portion of the Republican base now. They believe things like this.
Yeah, and that's some of her more mainstream views. She also is somebody who thinks the Parkland shooting was a hoax. She's just on the fringe, and part of it that I think a lot of people would be surprised is how popular this stuff is online. I happen to personally know somebody who thinks Parkland was a hoax and all of this kind of stuff. Like, it's out there, and there are whole communities based on it. And what always struck me, and I remember the beginnings of this, where I was really surprised, was Pizzagate, where I was like, I think Mitch McConnell is evil. I think he's a bad person. I truly do. I truly think he's out for himself and could truly give a damn about anybody who isn't him. Or I'm sure he loves his wife, or if he has kids or whatever, he loves them, but he's just a bad person outside of that. But I would never take it a step further and say, well, he's running a child sex ring. It's like, well,
I know.
That's a huge leap. And forget about the fact that most people who are abused as children are abused by people who are close to them, people who they know, who know their families, who know them closely, which is why it happened at churches and Boy Scouts of America and all these other things. It's people you know. It's not gonna be some stranger who you've never met before who's gonna make this happen. It's people who you know and who you trust. And that's just the reality, that there is no proof to substantiate the claim that there's this mass amount of kids who are being kidnapped and sold into child sex slavery. It's ridiculous. But I think how somebody like this can reach this level of prominence is that, on the internet, man, there's a lot of this stuff. A lot of these people are congregating and believing this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it impacts every part of our lives when you really think about it. I mean, the conspiracy theories about the coronavirus vaccine, it's incredibly frustrating, and all you have to do is a little bit of research and see that, like, the vaccine wasn't just developed within a few months. This is something that we had the framework for prior to coronavirus even, being a thing. And it was because of publicly funded research that was being done in countries like Canada. So having that framework made it easier to, rapidly come up with a vaccine that was effective against coronavirus. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's the conspiracy theories are addictive. They're easy to understand, and that's the kind of stuff that social media algorithms ensure will pop up on people's feeds, right? And it's just that's really a concerning thing, because I do think that these types of thought bubbles that are fueled by these algorithms help perpetuate some of the conspiracy theories that we're seeing right now. Real quick, let's also go to the video of her threatening to arrest a reporter for asking a question.
Yeah, I truly feel like as a woman in America, I really need to go talk to these. What do you have to say then about the videos?
I'm talking to my constituents. We're not having a press. This isn't a press conference. And for the left to tell us that we are suffering in this country is completely wrong. Actually, it's these third world countries that are socialist or communist countries where people are truly suffering.
So the staffers for Green told the reporter that she was causing a disturbance, and at that point, you can see cops show up to essentially remove her from whatever press conference was taking place. But I also caught what she was saying about how like we're not really struggling here in the United States; that they're really struggling in third world countries. I got news for you: take a walk anywhere in Los Angeles, and you'll see like massive tent cities under freeway bridges. But we have such limited time left. I wanted to get your final thoughts on this, Woz.
Yeah, I would encourage people to understand that, just a couple of things. One, the people who could be putting a kibosh on this are self-interested in keeping the crazies crazy, right? Like it's in their interest to keep them riled up. And as we like to remind you guys, keep them not thinking about enormous, massive tax cuts for the rich, right? Keep them not thinking about increasing the corporate power in the courts with conservative judges. Keep them not thinking about, Mitch McConnell wanting to give you $200 rather than $2,000, right? Keep them not thinking about that. And two, just a failure of institutions over time and eroded trust. Like at the end of the day, the government has failed people, and people have a right to think that they'll fail them again.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.